The death of Emperor Haile Selassie and the fate of his ministers during Mengistu Haile Mariam's rise to power is a highly contentious and tragic part of Ethiopian history. Haile Selassie's death. Emperor Haile Selassie, who ruled Ethiopia from 1930 until he was deposed in 1974, was not directly killed by Mengistu Haile Mariam or the Derg regime. However, his death is shrouded in mystery, and it is widely believed that he died under suspicious circumstances while in the custody of the Derg after his deposition. In September 1974, a military coup led by the Derg, a Marxist-Leninist junta, overthrew Haile Selassie, ending his reign and the Ethiopian monarchy. While the emperor was initially placed under house arrest, his exact fate is uncertain. The official narrative from the Derg stated that Haile Selassie died of natural causes, likely a heart attack in 1975. But there were persistent rumors that he was murdered by the Derg. In 1992, after the fall of the Derg regime, Haile Selassie's remains were exhumed from the imperial palace in Addis Ababa. A forensic investigation revealed that the emperor had been strangled. This confirmed the long-standing belief that Haile Selassie had been murdered, likely under the orders of the Derg leaders, including Mengistu Haile Mariam, although the specific circumstances and motivations behind his death remain unclear.
Believe in him and we know him, so I mean, we have no doubts. Long live His Majesty. Flesh is flesh and spirit is spirit, and we believe in the spirit of the
Death of Haile Selassie's ministers. In addition to the emperor's mysterious death, many of Haile Selassie's high-ranking ministers, officials, and loyalists were executed or imprisoned following the coup. The Derg, under Mengistu's leadership, targeted those associated with the old regime, often using brutal methods to eliminate perceived enemies. Executions. Some of Haile Selassie's closest ministers and allies were executed in the aftermath of the coup. For example, Endelkachi Makonnen, the prime minister of Ethiopia at the time of the coup, was executed by the Derg. Similarly, other high-ranking officials, including military officers and members of the imperial court, faced execution or imprisonment. Red Terror campaign. Once Mengistu took full control in the late 1970s, the Red Terror campaign escalated, during which thousands of Ethiopians were targeted. Many former members of the royal court and government were subjected to the regime's purges. Some were publicly executed, while others disappeared without a trace.
በመካከላችሁ በመገኘቴ የሚሰማኝን ልዩ ኩራት ልገልጽ እወዳለሁ።
The execution of Haile Selassie's ministers and the brutal treatment of anyone linked to the imperial regime were part of Mengistu's broader attempt to eliminate opposition and solidify his power. He framed this as a necessary action to cleanse Ethiopia of feudalism and corruption, but it resulted in widespread violence, injustice, and the destruction of the country's political elite. The murder of Haile Selassie and the execution of his ministers marked a turning point in Ethiopian history, symbolizing the brutal end of the monarchy and the rise of a radical authoritarian socialist government. Mengistu's role in overseeing these events added to his legacy as one of Ethiopia's most controversial and despised figures. The death of Haile Selassie and the execution of his ministers were key moments in the history of the Derg regime, with Mengistu Haile Mariam at its helm. While Mengistu did not directly kill Haile Selassie, he played a crucial role in the actions that led to the emperor's death, the brutal purges that followed, and the establishment of a ruthless military dictatorship that caused immense suffering in Ethiopia. The death of Haile Selassie and the execution of his ministers were key moments in the history of the Derg regime, with Mengistu Haile Mariam at its helm. While Mengistu did not directly kill Haile Selassie, he played a crucial role in the actions that led to the emperor's death, the brutal purges that followed, and the establishment of a ruthless military dictatorship that caused immense suffering in Ethiopia.